Dwarven Moss presents a Dungeons & Dragons actual play of The Curse of Strahd.
So you guys light up a little fire to try and stay warm. It is quite chilly. As Valaki burns in the distance, and you can see a bit of the radiance from it, and a lot of the black smoke blocking off a lot of the stars that you would be able to normally see.
Oh, yeah. It's like Chernobyl. When the smoke was just streaming into the sky.
That's right. And you guys have made what you can. Have a place to rest. It's chilly. And you guys just went through a whole lot.
And what's around us right now?
You are right at the foot of Lake Zarovich, by the shore, surrounded by evergreens. There's a bit of a dirty, sandy beach. You can hear faint sounds that are carrying across the water. Even sounds of Valaki, and you can hear wolves howling. It still sounds like the odd sound of carnage, but it's not a continual drone of, battle cries. It's like you can hear it. The intervals between sounds are getting wider and wider. You can still hear the chaos, but it'll be 20, 30 seconds, then you hear more battle sounds. The final forces and wolves and bats and the final forces are kind of dispersing across Valaki and making sure they've done a really good job of ending the city.
Shh. Boren. I don't know about you, but even being this far away, I don't feel safe here.
I tell you, friend, I don't feel safe anywhere in this land. I can't believe it. I can't believe what we saw. That entire city ripped to ribbons by Strahd and his monsters. We saw him, Wendle. He was right in front of us.
Yeah, we met him.
We know the man. We know the man now.
Oh, I know that man. I was about to say that the thing to do would be to ask us politely to speak with him. And, well, he did that. But then you cut off his horse's head.
Boren just gets up off the log.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up again.
Chopping the tree down.
Oh, man.
He's so mad.
Get it out. That's all fine with me. Okay.
You can hear it boom across the lake as it bounces off the mountain and it almost kind of comes back at you.
And then Wendell notices that and he sort of shivers.
He doesn't really, he's just taking little chunks out of it. He's more just bashing it in anger rather than actually.
Yep. And you are with your mighty swipes and huge strength and anger.
Well, I guess those bones don't mean shit anymore.
Those bones were the reason that Strahd attacked. Because we didn't get them back in time. That left an open window for him to come in.
So we know that the bones have power, but only when they are in their resting place in St.
Andrel's church.
Andrel's church.
That's what Father Lucian said.
That's what Father Lucian said. Now, Valaki is taken over by vampire spawn. So if we're going to get it back in there, we'd have to, covertly do it.
And hopefully there's a church left.
Hopefully there's even a church left, yeah.
And it's a crypt on the basement of the church.
Maybe that survived. I'm guessing it did. But, I mean...
Do you think it's smart just to take the rest now? Do you think,
Oh, I think did we rest at all, or could we consider the break a rest?
We're just it's nighttime where you're having a fireside chat. You haven't slept after.
Oh, we haven't rested.
No,
So
you're
we're sort
you're
of picking up after
debriefing.
being dropped off by.
Yeah, you're all amped up on adrenaline,
Yeah.
freaking out. Okay.
Wendle, we need to think this through in the morning.
He's sleeping.
Right. I swear, by the beard of Moradin, I will meet Strahd face to face.
Boren just slumps down in bed.
All right. And as you sleep like logs, you guys are out.
Do I still have a nightmare?
You do. It's the same nightmare. It's repeating. Nothing has changed about it. It's the exact same one.
Jeez.
So, as you wake up, it's getting a little bit lighter, and you can see that there is some frost on the ground. And you can finally get a clear, both of you kind of wake up at the same time. You can get a clear view of this lake. Huge, huge lake. And across from it, maybe 1,000 feet, probably even more, you can see these mountains that are towering over, and they have some snow on the caps. And it's very still. In fact, the water is perfectly flat. And it looks like a mirror, like a dark mirror, reflecting off these gray clouds that loom over you. They look like they're one and the same.
Can we see through the water? Are there fish in the water? Is it safe to...
No, but if you'll see the odd ripple here and there. But the question was, is it safe or...
Yeah, Boren goes up and just puts his helmet in the water to douse the campfire embers that they've left.
Yep. So you do that, no problem. Step in a little bit of sand. The water
seems-
it's clear.
Does it seem drinkable?
Yes.
Boren just cups his hands and starts sort of washing his face and splashing this cold morning lake water on his face to
Yeah, very
wake up.
chilly.
Wendell gets up and he's used his cloak of protection for warmth. And he pulls the cloak over his head and kind of tucks under it a little bit. Walks up to Boren. Hey, Boren.
Morning. How'd you sleep?
Nightmares.
Again, eh?
Yeah,
Same one?
very same.
What could it mean?
Maybe I'm gonna get attacked by black eels when I die?
That's pretty on the nose.
Yeah, well, I'm getting kind of sick of all these mysteries, you know?
I
I'm a man that likes answers.
know exactly what you mean.
Got a different look in your eye today, Boren.
Oh, I tell you, friend.
Looking a little serious there, Boren.
My heart was broken watching that town die. I had the man in my grips. I knocked him off that scaffold. He disappeared like a coward. Like the old man he is. I don't know if you picked up on that. I totally burned him. I
Yeah,
said,
I
hey, old man.
Yes, I get it, Boren.
I got him. Must have really ticked him off.
That's good.
Good.
And anyone who's not helping us take him down, well, they're stopping us from getting him. And what do we
I
want?
don't want to bulldoze through this situation.
Oh,
But I know who my enemies are.
bulldoze we will.
What's our plan of attack?
I don't know if bulldoze is a good word to use in this world.
Describe a bulldoze.
Bulldoze is when a bull on the open plains
He's sleeping.
will doze over a bale of hay.
Doze, is that a dwarven verb?
Doze, aye. To those one's krennic.
Interesting. All
Means
right.
to push one's patience.
Okay, well, I gotta go push a dump out over here in the Evergreens.
Hey.
We'll leave in a couple minutes. Boren.
All right.
Boren.
Good use of the mic. As you go to, you guys split off and you take care of your business in the Evergreens. You actually hear the faint sound of someone singing.
I'm gonna roll to find out where the sound is coming from. It's a 10.
You're smart enough to understand that it's very distant and that it's got a bit of reverb to it. It sounds like it's coming off the lake or the mountains.
Okay. So I'm gonna hear that Boren hears this. I assume that Boren hears this too.
No, I rolled for both you guys. He didn't.
So I finish my dump and I go to the shore. Boren, what do you think that is?
That's a lake. You've not seen a lake before.
Oh,
It's a body of water.
I know what a lake is, Boren. What was the sound? The singing.
What's singing?
The singing. I heard it. It was like bouncing off of maybe the mountains over there. Someone was carrying across the lake.
Bouncing
maybe. I
off
don't
the
know.
mountains.
You didn't hear that singing.
No, I didn't hear no singing.
Boren steps out,
What are you talking about?
puts an ear.
Wendell has now hunkered you down. 30, 40 seconds pass, and you do start to hear that singing, and Wendell kind of looks at you, nodding his head.
Oh. It's very faint. It's an echo.
Can Boren use... I want to see if this works. Boren's a mountain dwarf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boren hears echoes and distances, and as a dwarf, he has really good hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use some sort of nature check or insight or something to maybe find out what direction it'd be coming from? Like using his senses as a dwarf, the ideas he knows about spaces and echoes and distances
Right,
and
some
sound
sort of internal
relation
compass.
and- yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
You know what I mean?
It's coming pretty far from the west, and the water is very misty right now. But as you guys are both frozen,
Is that coming from the city? City's to our west, right?
yep.
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm listening.
So eventually, you guys do see across the water a boat in the middle of the lake, and a lone figure that's sitting in it. He's casting a fishing rod.
Is he the
Very,
one that's
very
singing?
far away. Yeah, I mean, you would assume.
I see.
Hey, Boren.
You see that?
Yeah, it's a boat.
I believe he's fishing.
What a charmed life. Fishing, this place, this time. What happened? Hey, you know what I want to try? Wendell puts his hand up and starts to gesture for the ravens, the way they have called the way he's called and answered before. He's doing a little motion
Oh, yeah.
with his hand. He's kind of looking
Call
around.
the guys. Let's see if they're here.
Starts stepping across the sand a bit and sort of,
You wait, and a few of them do come to you, and one of them lands on the ground, and it's Valdo, and he materializes in front of you.
Follow.
And he's in human form right now.
My
Waldo.
friend, how are you, sir? How are you?
What's going on?
I, so good to see you guys.
Yes, you as well, friend.
It's such a relief,
Oh.
I must say.
I'm so glad you're safe. Are you safe?
I am safe.
Thank
and
you
so are
for-
my friends.
For fighting with us. And that was one hell of a battle,
Absolutely.
Valdo.
Oh my
How did we
God.
fare? Or how did the keepers fare?
Not so good, and I fear for all of us now.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
Strahd, he knows who we are,
Yes, that's right.
but a few of us, we believe that we saw him head back to Ravenloft.
I bet he is the coward.
Valdo,
Valdo.
what do we do?
I'm not sure. It's just us now.
We have our missions, Valdo, and we stick close to them. We know what can defeat this man. I'm not ready to go into a battle unprepared.
Yeah, me neither.
We were given specific directions. I say we follow those Madame Eva gave us, and even though she's a Vistani. Voldo, what do you know of Madame Eva? She cured us. She gave us these directions, but the Vistani,
She's with the Vistani.
these are
The
the
Vistani are with
tricked us.
Strahd.
All I know is that she played with the cards, right? The
That's
Tarot
right.
deck.
Yes.
She just reads the future, and maybe she's just, I don't know, maybe it's not a direction. Maybe the cards are what the cards are, and
That's
she
true.
says them.
Boren, maybe the Vistani don't even know what she told us. Maybe they didn't expect that those cards would do that.
She did have quite a strong reaction to some of them.
Did she say anything about any ones in particular?
Well, yes, we're looking for a child. A lost Vistani child. Perhaps you've
Right.
seen her around the lake.
Yeah, so we show him the card. We just
we
show him the card.
Yes.
Didn't you say she felt sick or something when she read that card? Like she was directing you towards something?
She did have a big reaction when she said a missing child at a camp. Voldo, have you seen this child? Do you know what she looks like?
I don't know. I don't know. What have you heard?
Well, we've only heard that she's a missing child. We saw some Vistani leaving the camp. We know of this Vistani camp. We've been there. We saw Stanomir.
Stanomir, okay.
As we were approaching the camp, we
Yes.
made sure stealthily to hide our tracks. Mm-hmm. And while we were hidden, some Vistani passed by us and said that she was last seen around this lake.
So Valdo looks, there's a couple other ravens in raven form,
Yeah, great.
and they're communicating with each other. And
Okay, nice.
no, nobody has seen anything of this.
Well, let's get them to
keep an eye out.
Yeah, we
Please.
should probably. Yeah. So hey, Ravens.
They kind of hop up, they nod their heads. They've been listening the whole time.
I love it.
So Wendell kind of goes over to them. Yeah, and he leans down. He puts both his hands on his knees. Hey, Ravens, come here.
They hop towards you.
They'll hop up to me and I say, you know what we're looking for, right? You could hear. You're not like, okay. So what are you still here for? Go find the girl. Report back to us. There.
Spread their wings and flutter away.
It's funny.
It's
I know
just
that
the
they're
three of you.
I know that they're people, but when they're ravens, I
you
almost
kinda
feel
talk
like
to them like-
kind of puppy dog.
Yeah, I was going to say they're cute, the way they bounce.
They are. They
Yeah,
are.
it's really like
It's
little
quite
toys.
something.
Oh, I love him.
Magic, you know.
Voldo,
Yeah.
one last thing. That gentleman out in the lake. Can you fly over it? See what his deal is.
Of course.
See if you can see any weapons.
Actually, it looks like they're looking at him right now.
Are you
So you guys wait, they circle.
Yeah.
They're actually coming back.
He just see if it works. Boren just
Into-
puts out a finger.
I just want to see
Like
if
the
this
asking for the bird to land on your
works. Yeah,
finger.
just,
Yeah.
I'm not pushing, Don't want it to happen, but if it does, all right.
Wendell rolls his eyes.
All right, come on.
And, yeah, one of them lands on your face.
Wow, you got what you wanted. That's very nice.
Did you see anything? And he brings it close. So, what can you tell us?
Dwarf talking to this
watching Boren talk to this crow face to face.
Crow,
Voldo,
call on me. What you got?
Valdo translates.
Yeah.
Voldo,
And,
what say he?
it does look like, he's got a very small boat. And he is fishing. And he's, talking or singing to himself or something. But there is something else in that boat.
What?
I don't know. It's like a burlap sack or something. Filled with something.
Too much to ask you to go out again,
And-
circle
and-
around, and
and
like,
get it?
super close, and like,
Yeah, like maybe even
really-
could three of you go and pick up the bag? And
I wish I could land somewhere and observe him closely, but there's nothing but water.
Aye.
what if you just go and land on the boat? Just go freak. I mean, he's not likely to. People like birds, right?
Does
He'll
this
just
guy
kinda-
see us? Can he see us? Like, has he noticed us? Are we-
It's possible as much as you would notice him, but he seems kind of aloof and singing, and it's intermittent.
Okay,
you're
Voldo.
getting a bunch of mist, and then it's spreading out.
Why don't we
and-
just, spitball a few ideas here of how to deal with this guy on the boat? So, Valdo,
What do you think?
can you fly over to him?
Yeah.
over the lake
Go on.
and go above him, maybe 20 feet up, and drop a little bird poop on him.
I could do that.
Let's just.
Boren
Can we
steps
just?
out. Steps
This
out
is,
from there. He goes,
um,
"Good morning, sir!" Just yells across the lake.
You
And
don't
it
wanna see
echoes.
that happen.
Good morning, sir.
I'm sorry, but
Valdo didn't feel, he felt dehumanized or something. He didn't want to take a shit on
Okay,
the guy.
I'm just. It might have been a good experiment to see maybe if he would leave.
he's in a
or-
boat. I mean,
He was hoping, yeah. Da-da. So you see this guy, and he looks around, and
Boren waves his
as you're
hand.
waving your hand, and he looks startled. He did not expect to see you guys here.
Sorry if we startled you.
As soon as he does that, he grabs this burlap sack, and you can see that it's moving, and he throws it into the water.
Oh, bloody hell. Ah, bloody hell. This
Okay.
one's on me.
Wait,
It's very, very far away.
How far away is this?
Very far, like 300 feet almost.
I'd hate to burn this, but should we fly over?
Oh,
If you think it's like a human, then they're underwater right now, and you're far away.
okay. Wendell just touches. Like he conjures up the ability to fly, and he's going to cast fly on himself, and he touches Boren, and then he just takes off. And I guess is Boren? Are you following?
Boren falls. He goes,
round two.
And we go as fast as we can, and I'm going like Superman style, just 2
Aldo's
feet.
gonna jump to
Yeah,
go
great.
into Raven form in the midair. He's
yeah.
right behind
and all
you.
3 of us start just to make our way across the still mirrored lake.
Yes.
As fast as we can, I'm just feeling that cold mountain air on my face. My cloak is flapping.
Yeah, you can see the formation, the reflection of all 3 of you in the water. It's so still.
Boren's,
And
while
it's-
he's flying straight like a bullet, he's slowly reaching for his axe and just keeping a hand on the hilt of his axe.
And you get closer and closer, and you see this man fishing. You're within 10 feet now above him. You can see an empty bottle of rum in his boat. He looks like he's very disheveled, dirty.
Okay, as soon as I'm close enough, Wendell is going to conjure a net. And he's going to conjure it up, and as he's still flying, the net's kind of appearing in front of him in all this black mist, and the mist and particles is like whipping behind him too and making a little black trail.
Awesome.
You can conjure a net?
Yeah, it's a weapon.
That's a weapon,
It's
right?
a martial
Yeah.
ranged weapon.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So I take this sort of like moving black shadowy net and I throw it at this guy as soon as I'm at a distance that I think is a safe throw. If you want me to roll for it, but I'm
Yeah,
trying
roll
to
to hit.
Okay.
Yep, it's a
Yeah.
hit.
Okay, that's definitely a hit. A big 13 plus 6. So.
Oh, yeah.
Plus 13 plus 9.
Wraps him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's caught. His fishing line is caught in the net.
Boren lands. And he lands at the front, so it kind of goes down, and then the back of the boat where he's sitting goes up in the water, and then it slams down.
Like a seesaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lifts the guy in the air a little bit. And he
Yeah.
How big is the
tumbles
boat?
to ground.
Very small.
Exactly. It's a dinghy, or it's
A little bigger than a
Ooh,
canoe.
okay. Maybe canoe
Yeah,
size,
it's like a
Canadian
canoe, but not as long.
So
I'm
he's,
still flying.
Boren's got his axe out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, was I able to use the net? Mm-hmm. Even though I was flying as a concentration?
Yes, absolutely. You can't cast other spells while you're concentrating. Much
Can I
like
fight when I'm concentrating? I can, right?
100%.
Yeah, I
much
just
like
can't get hit.
Much like Varys casts Hunter's Mark.
Right, yeah.
And is still shooting arrows.
All my spells are concentration spells.
Right, and as soon as you get hit, though, it breaks your concentration.
Well, you have to roll for
Depending
it.
on what it is.
You have to roll
for
a
it.
Constitution check.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it'd be a con save. Your con is +2. It's a 16, I think.
Yeah, no, it's a 14 plus 2.
Oh yeah, 14 plus 2. So it would be you'd have to do it 10 or higher, and then you would just roll. But you get the +2 to it, so it's like a 60% chance that it doesn't break.
Can I say this?
Cool.
Yeah.
Boren goes, Wendle! Voldo! Go for the girl!
Valdo turns to human form and does like a pencil dive. Yeah. And just splashes in the freezing cold water.
Oh, yeah.
And he is in it. He is down.
And Boren just stands there looking at this guy in the net.
You move one muscle, I'll chop your goddamn head off your shoulders.
Boren just punches him out.
Yeah, he hits the ground cold.
Great.
So I'm in the air flying, and I see that I've subdued this drunken idiot on the boat with my shadowy net, and I can see Boren start to punch him and start to kind of
One punch.
Just
Just
give him
KO'd.
one fat
this one big KO
fisty
punch.
You're in the jaw.
One Mike Tyson punch.
And I decide to just go for this burlap sack body. So I dive down towards the water, and it splashes into me, and I see nothing but blackness. And then use my turn to dash, which would be 30 feet down, directly down. And then I hear nothing but the water. And then I misty step as a bonus action an additional 30 feet down. I've left the rope on my side, dangling. And as I look around to try to find this burlap sack, I'm
Very dark.
struck with an absolute panic because I'm living my nightmare.
Yes, exactly.
He's using everything he has. His cantrip of Mage Hand is going around, feeling around, and he's sensing it as it's.
Well, you've made up to the sack.
I see the sack. I feel it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
As
God.
soon as you went in 30 feet, you misty stepped. It was 30 feet even deeper. You've grabbed it.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And right now you are paralyzed with fear, thinking that these black shadowy eels are going to come after you, and you're totally kind of spent all your magic. But there is a rope that's dangling and all the way
Wendell's
up.
exhausted too. He's just sort of.
And you are freezing. It is cold.
Where's
and it is
Valdo in all
dark down
this?
here.
Is he down there
Valdo
with
is
him?
about 30 feet ahead of you, 30 feet above you, Wendell. He sees you. He's swimming towards you. He's swimming down.
Okay.
He'll be there in a few turns.
What does Boren see? Boren's back on the boat.
You just see a
This
whole
guy's
bunch of
knocked out.
bubbles. All of a sudden, all these ripples. This man is knocked out. You see a bit of a rope dangling up.
How far away is that?
You can reach out. You can take an action, grab that rope.
I take an action. I grab the rope.
You grab it. You start pulling it, I assume?
Yeah.
Valdo's now grabbed a hold of the sack. You guys each have a hand on each end. Valdo is swimming. You're kind of paralyzed. You're just holding on like you have rigor mortis or something.
Yeah.
And you're just
I'm
holding on to
the rope with one hand and the burlap sack with the other, just like clenching into my body.
Exactly.
Boren's strong as shit, so he's just tugging this rope. This is nothing that he's pulling.
Just feeling
And
it
all of a sudden-
pulling through the water.
Oh yeah. Splashes through.
Boren just pulls him in. Pulls the burlap sack.
Check the sack.
Boren takes the sack off.
It's a small girl. It is most likely Aragel. She's wearing Bastani clothes. She is blue.
Hold on. Let me check her vitals. Is she alive?
You can tell that her lungs are just completely filled with water.
Oh, no.
And
Her lungs
she's
are
having a
filled with water.
very difficult time expelling
She's
it.
drowning from the inside.
Boren.
Yeah.
Boren.
Hey.
And Wendell is shaking. His arms are like just totally shaking. But he says through his pursed blue lips, "The potion.
What?
Irina's underwater drinking potion."
Right. And Boren reaches for his sack,
Yep.
pulls it
Okay.
out, and he holds up the little body. He goes, "Here you go. Here you go. Drink good. Drink."
All
And he
right.
just
So
pours a
you
little
pour,
in.
you pour it in her mouth. It mixes in with the rest of the water, and all of a sudden you can see that she's starting to take these breaths, and this magical potion is allowing her to breathe through this water.
Wow.
Kind of puts her.
She's coming too.
How old
she's
is she?
moving. You 5, 6, 7.
Boren kind
She was
of
under
holds
there
her.
for almost a minute. She's
Yeah, Boren
Yeah.
kind of holds her on his lap and just warms her up. Just kind of rocks back.
I guess we just kind of just take this silence a little bit as the boat goes from rocking and all this chaos that
shaking.
was echoing around everywhere, but now we just sort of have that heavy silence just come over us once
quite
again.
the scene. And Valdo is perched on the front of the boat in raven form. And the black sandy net still
that.
conjured.
This guy.
He looks like a drunkard. He looks like his clothes would be. He looks like could be from Valaki.
Okay.
And
he doesn't look Fistani.
No, he's wearing commoner's clothes.
All right.
Ragged. He's dirty. A couple booze bottles on the bottom of the
With this little girl on his lap,
bow.
Boren pats around, and this boat is just kind of sloshing with water too, right? Because when he landed, he obviously let some water in. But does he find the oar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he just starts oaring,
Heading towards the shore.
heading towards the shore.
Hold on, Bert. Stay close.
And he just uses two arms, and he uses his strength, just all the strength he has in him, just to row him back to where they were, their
You're going
camp.
fast. So back to the camp.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yep, you're able to dock the boat, and Wendell hops out and grabs the front of the board and drags it above the sand. You guys are parked back at your camp.
Well, you know, Boren, I almost feel like I could go for another rest, even though we just sort of woke up.
I bet, son. I bet here. Take care of this girl. If you hold on to her, two bodies makes more warmth.
Okay.
You'll warm each other up.
Okay, so I
I'll build a fire.
take the girl and I start kind of pacing back and forth.
Boren first, what he does, he goes into his tent real quick, grabs the blanket that's there, just throws it over Wendell and the girl, and then he starts making a fire.
And before you make the fire, as you're walking towards it, Wendell looks at you and he says, Boren!
Aye.
He kind of snaps his fingers. The moss. Dwarven moss.
Right. Right.
Warms you up.
One of the insides and the out. You got it.
Wendell sees some of that rum and he takes a swig.
All right.
Also, after Boren makes the fire, he drags the guy out of the boat, ties him up with rope.
Okay.
A very sturdy knot, ties his hands and his feet together behind his back.
Yep.
Nice. And I relinquish the net.
It kind of fades away.
Yeah, I guess
And I
it
just
fades
picture
away.
you and the girl just sitting by the fire, just kind of rocking, warming up. I'm
the
kind of taking care of business.
Birds of the keepers of the feather are in their raven form.
Oh,
And they're
wicked,
in
just
a
watching.
tree.
Wicked.
Two of them are, and then one of them's circling overhead, keeping an eye out.
Awesome, awesome.
What do you think we should do with this guy, Boren?
Ye keep him for now. He might be worth something. Or he might be useful. Filled with information. Someone told him to throw this little girl into the water. I'll find out. My bloody money's on Stanimir
Stanimir,
and
Strahd.
Strahd.
Vistani. These are all enemies that we're making, Boren.
How does the little girl look now? Can she talk?
She's shivering, and she's just with Wendell. Wendell's got a bit of his cloak of protection wrapped over her, and she's burrowing her head into him. And she looks
Vistani,
She's
right?
very despondent. She's not speaking. Yeah, she's wearing Vistani clothes.
Boren, I think we're pretty confident here that this is Aragol, right?
Is that her name? Aragol?
She nods her head.
Erigul.
She nods her head.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Boren,
Erigul. You're right.
you all right? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Aragol, you with us?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, it's all right.
Shh, quiet, girl, quiet. You're all right now.
I've lost from my family.
Yes. This is very funny. I thought you'd be older and bigger. You're just a wee lass. How
She
are you,
nods.
girl? You hungry?
She nods.
All right.
Do we have any food?
Aye.
Boren pulls out a little sort of dry piece of beef jerky that he keeps in his utility belt just to nose on.
Hey, can I have a little
That's
bit?
for the girl. Come on.
I didn't know you had beef jerky in there.
You know what? He gives some to the girl and he goes,
You know what? You're right. You lost a lot of protein. Here, you take some.
Okay, thank you.
Chew on that, friend.
How you got a lot of compartments
Aragol.
on there?
Who did this to you? Who is that man?
He said, he's a fisherman. He said, he would sacrifice me to the lake. He thinks, my people are good luck.
Well, that man was wrong, okay? You're safe now.
He's safe with us.
Who are your parents, little girl, Aragol? Who are your parents? Who do you trust? Who do you want to see right now?
My mother, Arabelle.
Arabelle? You want us to take you to Arabelle?
She nods.
Do you know where you are right now? And I kind of open her up to the lake. You know where this lake is? You know where you are?
I think so.
Do you think you can point to where your home is and where your mom, Arabelle, is?
She looks around. She points west.
Okay. Like as if maybe towards the Vistani?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I say we take these moments to warm up. After that, we can go see about returning you home, Irgul. For we have some friends we have to meet.
And everyone's getting really close, trying to dry off their clothes. And
Boren starts to conjure Zoltan on the side of this lake.
awesome.
He's down on his knees and
Yeah.
he says his prayer and he says his boar's name over and over again. And he appears, this celestial boar that just, like the mist. I think it's kind of like, too, like the way Wendle's magic works. The exact same way this thing kind of materializes. Part of me feels that in
But a little more
Faerun-
celestial, a little
Yeah.
more
Blue.
lighter, maybe.
Well, I think it's
bluish.
coming from a different sort of like that ethereal
magical
essence is being drawn from a different plane, perhaps.
But it has a similarity, like your hex blade.
The way it
kind of-
materializes.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of see magic kind of having almost a
Right.
similar aesthetic.
And yours kind of comes
Yeah.
from a faith that you have.
Yeah.
Whereas Wendell's comes from
Like a curse, a darkness,
something like
almost
that.
like a blood magic kind of.
He doesn't know. That's what makes it so scary and also so fun.
So, Boren conjures this thing up, and it just takes form. And he still looks this.
And Wendell and Aragol are sitting by the fire, and they watch this, and both their eyes have the reflection of the fire flickering in them as they sort of like tired and worn out stare with half shut eyes at Boren doing this solemnly and quietly on the shore of this lake.
My friends, you're right. He brings them. He sort of brought them a little. He has this little canteen that he fills with water that he's dipped in the lake. He's realized the lake water, he can drink it. And gives it to them. And he also has, remember the previous night, they had the wolf steaks. They didn't eat all the wolf steaks, so they had some leftovers. He says, please, eat these now. This will fill you with protein. Get your blood moving. This is good for you.
cooking up some wolf steaks
That's right.
on a skewer, maybe.
Wendell, he skewers some of the wolf steaks on the fire, but then he takes his skewer of all the pieces of steak that he's made, and he just sort of a little eldritch blast across the top just to sear them. And it sort of sends a beam out into the sky. Actually, he sends two beams because he has to cast it at a...
Two crackling beams.
Actually, no, this is... no, I can pick, I think, with... maybe I can't
When did we get the 3 beams? Level 10?
10, maybe. But, so they eat some wolf...
Steak, yeah.
wolf
Some eldritch
steak.
wolf steaks.
Ergo, when did you go missing?
Yesterday.
Did you wander off by yourself?
Yeah.
Boren wants to use insight on this kid.
Sure. Can't tell much with that.
Boren, what are you trying to size up with this girl, man? She's just a kid. I think we just gotta take her for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, take these words for what they are.
Just like the rest of the Vistani.
She's like, what is she, like 5 years old?
I'm sorry, but there's a culture. He's already been indoctrinated.
You think that this is some evil child What, you got the taste of it now? I'm sorry, that was a low blow.
It's a low blow.
That was a demon baby. I've already gone over this with you.
Blow, I know.
Okay.
I know low blow.
And I'm kind of, I have one hand over her ears.
Ears, yeah,
as you're
earmuffs.
saying this.
Earmuffs.
Okay. Boren, I don't even know why you're bringing that up. We're in the presence of a child here.
What do you mean, me bringing it up? You're the one who went around Valaki announcing that we were about to just chop Strahd's head off. You're the one who approached people. You talked to that guy in the stocks for like nigh on 5 minutes, man. Talking to him, telling him.
I was getting information.
Oh, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting information.
All right,
We
fine.
know that this little girl's Vistani, and we know that the Vistani lie.
Okay, so we agree we're both flawed.
I agree. That I cannot disagree with. That.
Oh, all right. Now listen to that, Mr. Perfect.
It's the Dwarven
There's no
Moss, I'm
flaw.
telling
There's
you. It's
no
the
flaws
moss.
in that at all.
It's the moss. Get up my back! Back!
I would suggest that we make our presence a little less known now that we have this Aragol with us.
Sweetie, you want to go for a ride? You ever ridden a boar before?
No.
Well, you sit up on the top
She's
with
smiling.
Uncle Wendle, all right? All right, and you hold on.
She goes. She follows you up there. She kind of hops up. You help her.
So, Boren has showed her up to the saddle.
Yep.
She's on. She's a little girl, so she's
Yeah.
kind of having fun.
She's smiling,
all this.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
She's
a
loving it.
boar. Yeah, she's loving it. And we're down at the bottom still.
Look, little girl. We feel in danger. Us two big guys, as strong as we are, we're a bit scared. We want to take you back to your camp. Do you want to go home?
I want to go home.
And that's what we shall do. But no, once we return you home, there might be some danger. So
Danger?
You might need to hide. All right? We don't want you to get hurt. We want you to get back home safely.
She looks around and nods her head.
All right. You know the city of Valaki?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was right near your camp, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's turned into a very dangerous place.
Is that what all those sounds were last night?
Why?
Yeah,
That's
but it's all right. Yeah, you keep hanging out with the boar here, and I pull Boren aside. What happens? We find Stanimir, and then what? He's got the bones. What do we do with the bones, man?
We keep the bones for ourselves, and they protect us against Strahd.
The bones are only powerful, Boren, if we put them back in their rightful spot at that church.
We don't need them to be at that church. We need them by our side.
Maybe there's a way that we can. But we're only going to know if we go to that church with those bones. And who's got the bones? Stanimir's got the bones. And what does Stanimir want?
Ergo,
And who's got Aragol?
Wendle,
Wendle and Boren, baby.
and Boren.
Wendle and Boren.
And they just big predator high five.
Yeah,
Wendle and
definitely-
Boren.
definitely.
Wendle and
And, we,
Boren.
and I
And they
pull
just go-
and we pull each other in really tight, so we're looking
Yeah.
directly up and down from
Yeah.
each other.
The meme arm shake, yeah.
And we just look at each other and we go,
Wendle and Boren.
and they run off. And Wendell hops up on Zoltan. And Boren goes like this. Hey, watch this. And he starts flipping up this pannier out from the side of the saddle.
Yeah.
And
Close next to the ladder.
Yeah, and he sits the little girl like it's almost like a saddlebag that he can sit the
Boren,
little girl in.
how fitting is it that you have a child seat built in
Hey.
to all of your compartments
Hell,
here?
I have 13 children. You need something like this.
Wow.
Traveling the wilds of fear.
And Wendell kind of gets excited and he kind of slaps the ethereal skin of Zoltan.
And they both get on. So, as before, when Irina and Wendell were riding Zoltan, now it's pure Wendell and Boren on
Yep.
top.
Yeah.
This little girl is in the side.
And the
saddle.
ravens flutter from the tree.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that's one of the. Yeah.
They're following
Make
you.
sure you watch. Make sure you watch us. Give us any signs.
Yep, they'll keep an eye out for your hand symbols or whatever.
So we want to just make it west. As we're going west,
We have the lake to our right
we have
and
lake
the
to our
forest
right,
to
we
the
have the
left.
forest there. I always want to keep an eye out for Valaki because I know Valaki will be on the way. We have to make some sort of route where we pass over Valaki.
Well, you would keep a
Yeah, you're-
natural compass on this because you're a military man.
Huge military man. I know my directions. Now that I know where we are, I've plotted ourselves, making straight line west against the river, against the lake.
Yeah, you're going to head right through Valaki. You want to go along the shore?
I want to say we go along the shore, right? So we're here.
I love that. That's really
Well, that's
go
what I
along
thought
the
we were
shore.
doing, actually. I,
100%.
for some reason, I thought we got to say that, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they're traveling on Zoltan, obviously, again, yeah, they're going straight west. They're going along the
Because
shore.
our campsite was on the shore, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right, straight
yeah.
west.
And
Yeah,
the-
no south and then west. So you guys are just hugging the shore?
To the right is the
Awesome.
is the lake.
Yeah.
To the left is the
Yeah.
forest. Going here.
Yeah.
And when they get to Valaki here, the road to Valaki here, I wanna
You can pass right through it, really.
Yeah, I mean,
you
but
could pass
I
around
also
it.
want to put it out there that maybe we go around it and come from behind because that's where their camp is. It's actually on
yeah,
that
that's
do
a
that.
great idea.
So we're going to go along the shore and travel past Valaki.
And actually, before we travel past Valaki, I want us to stop. We stop.
Yeah, you can still see some smoke smoldering.
Yeah.
And-
As we're close to it.
I say to one of the ravens, "What do you see?"
Kind of flies off. You wait some time and it comes back.
I'm expecting the worst. This is not
Valdo
good.
comes back down. I can't believe what I'm seeing. My town. It's completely in ruins. There are still wolves feeding on the bodies,
No.
Great.
and half the buildings are completely burned down.
All right. Voldo, I think the plan is to keep going along the shore and circle around. I believe
I think
there is
that's
a bridge
wise.
up ahead. If we take the city by the western road.
I also see there's a bit of an envoy that's heading south, I think towards the camp.
What
Yeah.
kind of envoy?
Well, someone is riding a horse, and a couple other people are with it.
That could be Stanimir.
Could be anyone. That could be Rahadan.
Hey, Voldar.
Yes. Hold on.
Voldo. Sorry.
That's okay.
The church.
Yes,
Is it there?
it's still there. It's still there. He's not been burned. It's strong and made out of stone.
Voldo, if we put the bones back in the church, will the city be saved?
As far as I know,
That's a good idea,
He
then.
knows.
Okay.
I think
You're a trustworthy
all
fellow,
that has to
Voldo.
happen is they put in the crypt and there's some sort of blessing from a holy man,
Aye.
the Father Lucian.
Oh, we don't need Father Lucian. I'm right here. I'm the holiest man this land has got. I can do it myself. All right. Let's go.
So we continue on. We continue on past. So we're coming to the most southwestern part of Lake Zarovich.
Yep. Perfect.
And that dumps us out on
Yeah,
to
you
a
can totally
road
hook
going
around.
north-south.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we go down there because that north-south roads then comes to a crossroads with the old Svalich roads.
Yeah, you can
Beautiful.
flank the
That's exactly what we're
Vistani
doing.
camp
I'm oriented.
while
coming from the
avoiding
west.
Valaki for sure.
So as we come down to the west, we hook up with the old Svalich road. I believe there's a bridge there. We sort of
Yeah, and you
Past
make
this
your way
bridge.
through the forest, and they get very tight. You realize, yeah, I know where we are. We're
close.
we're very close to.
So I
the
want us to
Vistani
pull off to the side of the road. Make sure that we're hidden.
Yep.
Make sure we're nice and in the darkness.
All right. Let's dismount here.
Okay.
All right.
Zoltan kind of whoosh.
Dematerializes.
And I help down. Here we go. All right, there you go.
Grigor, how are you, dear? You're right.
Yes,
We're almost home, okay? All right.
she nods her head.
And I kind of whisper over to Wendell, and I whisper over to Boren so that she can't hear. Boren, why don't we just plot to kill Stanimir? I'm seeing that is solving a lot for us in many regards, and I reveal my axe again, which, can I just take a quick peek at my axe?
It's getting cleaner. It's getting cleaner. It doesn't have just a couple
Boren,
splotches.
you got to admit, it's getting cleaner.
My
A
friend,
little cleaner. All the time.
It's getting
You're right.
cleaner all the time.
I am not against that idea at all. But we have to play our cards right. We might lose the girl. And we need those bones. If we keep the girl out of
let's
their way.
kill Stanimir.
You want to go in?
So I would say this. You know that Stanimir, that the bones are somewhere in the camp. And you also know that there's a holy symbol in the camp.
That's what we know from the card.
So that's the first thing we do. We want to say,
Voldo, we'll stay here. You know where the camp is, right?
Yeah,
we need
but
you to run
yes.
reconnaissance.
Go and check every single thing you do, but make sure you're not seen. Strahd knows you exist now. Stay as far away as you can, in the trees.
Okay.
Look around. We'll be here. We'll make sure take all the time you can. And come back and give us every little detail.
No problem. And he runs, turns to a raven.
and the flaps of the wings all of a sudden just sort of like that sort of.
Oh, Wendle, I could watch
He
that
raises.
all day. It's the coolest.
You know what? It's so cool.
Oh, man, so...
And when something is cool like that, it just, oh man, like I'm in a good mood.
Yeah,
I'm in a good mood right now.
I know. I think that moss did its job, you know?
Sometimes the moss hits right,
Right where it's supposed to.
right where it's supposed to. You look over at Ergol.
Erigo, you want to play a game?
She's just pulling at the grass in the ground. She goes,
All right.
yes.
Okay, it's called How Fast Can You Pull the Grass? All right?
Really fast. Give me a countdown.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
and Boren
ripping out all the
joins in,
grass.
pulling at the grass.
She's throwing it up in the air and laughing as it's like falling down on her shoulders and stuff.
And then Boren goes,
Wait, I have a better game.
What?
Let's play the quiet game. I'll tell you this. Whoever can be quiet the longest wins. All right? All right.
Nods her head.
and then
Silent.
Boren looks at Wendle. He goes,
I play this with my kids all the time. He goes, 3.
and he puts his finger to his lip, and he's playing with his kid. And the idea is that he's playing with a girl to distract her, to lull her into like, everything's gonna be all right. And we're just waiting for our raven friend to come back.
How far are we from the Vistani camp? If we have sort of calibrated ourselves as we've made this big circle.
Like a quarter kilometer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty close. That's 250 meters, I guess.
Like
Should
a
we
4
translate
hours.
this for our American viewers, or?
No.
No. Okay. Do you want to like kind of hide her and then set off for the camp? We need to rest too, because if we're about to get in a fight, I gotta rest.
Oh yeah. Like a short rest.
Yeah, a short rest will do it.
Okay. Do we have time? Does it look like does Voldo come back? I want to make sure that Voldo. That's the thing. We can't leave her here alone.
No. Well, let's all rest together.
Okay.
Paula comes back after circling. He gives you the lowdown of the camp. You learn a few extra details about it, but he reminds you of the hill.
Yeah.
And around the hill are actually these houses,
Yeah. Sort of set into
shoddy
the hill
houses.
almost.
But yeah, they're a little different than. You can see that they belong to maybe the Dusk Elves, and then at top are the wagons where it's centered around this giant fire. So it's a combination of Dusk Elves and Vistani. The Vistani are at the top of this hill.
Sorry, Yes, this is what we remembered, right?
This is what Valdo's seeing. But yes, it's a refresher.
Oh, Valdo has come back. That's
He's-
right. I must have blanked
No
out there
worries.
for a second.
Yeah.
Valdo is reporting that this is what he saw, and Sandomir's there, and they're partying, and
Yep, they've got a big
Elves.
fire going.
big fire going.
Yep.
Okay, how do we
Right.
fucking nuke this whole fucking place? Let's think of anything. I got mage hands. We got ravens. Could we fucking light a fire and a huge ring around them or something and close them in?
You guys hear a sound coming down the path.
Hide. Everyone hide.
We all attempt to hide.
Give me. I know you can't do stealth, but give me a stealth roll for Wendle.
I'll take the girl then.
Okay.
11 plus.
Plus
So
six,
I rolled
17.
a 17.
Okay, so you guys go to rustle through the bushes through the side, and you see some dusk elves coming your way. And you can recognize that one of them is Rahadin. Rahadin has, he claims to be the brother of Strahd, even though he's of elven descent.
Yep.
And he's walking past you, slowly. What did you roll? 17?
17.
And they're just clipping and clopping. You see three of them, and they don't notice you. They keep walking. And Rahadin looks like he looks like he's pretty burnt up. Like he might have had a pretty vicious battle with Isaac. And a couple of the other guys look pretty beat up, but
Okay.
they're coming back.
Okay.
And as he walks by too, both of you hear a panging in your ears, like this really high pitched scream that almost gives you like a headache. You silently grab your head. And Rahadin's making his way towards the camp.
Okay.
I'm going to approach the camp with the girl. You sneak around.
No,
back.
hold on a second.
You've got the most sneakiness of the both of us. Let's distract them. If I approach with the girl, I can say that you died along the way. And then you come from behind and take them out.
Or find the bones.
Or find the bones. Do you think that's a good idea?
Those bones.
We need to get those
We gotta get those bones because there's some power in those bones.
We need that
But-
holy symbol.
Holy symbol is what's on the card.
But what is this child? The child was on the card.
The card
too.
says something about a child and a holy symbol and a camp. So we just gotta get all those things together. I'm thinking we're gonna find some sort of holy symbol, and then hopefully Latin will strike and we will know what to do. Whether it's the girl that we're gonna take with us, or maybe the girl knows how to activate a holy symbol. I don't know.
Nor do I.
I will say this too: you guys never mentioned anything about a holy symbol to Stanimir at any point.
Good. Even better. He doesn't know
He doesn't know.
that we
that's
want
what
this
we
holy
want,
symbol.
a symbol, or we're looking for a holy symbol, or we're in some ways trying to put together a puzzle where a holy symbol is factoring in a way that we don't know.
Girl,
Basically,
do we just hand her over? She was on the card. So my thing is like, what is her?
Well, all he ever said was, "I will give you the bones if you return this girl."
And all we know about-
Maybe he'll give you a holy symbol if you return this girl. You don't know, or maybe he's fucking Stanimir and you shouldn't be talking to him at all. Who knows?
So Boren, maybe.
All you know is that at this camp, at this point, you know he has the bones for sure. He said that.
Yeah.
So the bones
Yeah.
are there. The card
But there's
pretty much says that there's a holy symbol here too. So essentially, there's two things in this camp that you think that you need,
Yeah,
and that's really all you need to know,
yeah.
I would say.
So Boren,
Aye.
we continue to sort of like hum and haw over this stuff, and we pull out the pouch of moss and straw and everything, and everyone sort of has a short rest.
Baldo's going to keep watch. And it goes by without conflict.
Wendell is so stoned.
I like it, man. I like it.
This concludes another episode of Dwarven Moss. If you'd like to support us, consider joining our Patreon, or buy us a coffee. Leave us a comment, or ask a question and we'll answer it on one of our episodes of Talking Moss. Dwarven Moss is presented by the Sonar Network.